Carol with Carol B. Crafts. Today we'll be doing our second card in our That's the Tag April 2017 online class. These two beautiful cards could be used for anniversary or wedding, or you could change out the sentiment to make it congratulations or even thinking of you. If you'd like to participate in my online class, you can check out the details on my blog at www.carolbcrafts.com. Basically, it's $79. You get 2 stamp sets and 1 die set, and then you also will get all the materials that you need to make 11 cards and 5 tags. The stamp sets that go in the kit are That's the Tag and Falling for You. The dies is the Timeless Tags Thinlits dies that matches That's the Tags. If you already have these but you'd like to take my class anyway, you can do that too. All you need to do is purchase $60 retail from my from StampinUp.com using the current host code available on my blog www.carolbcrafts.com. And for $4.99 shipping, I will send you all the paper, cardstock, and ribbons and embellishments that you need to make the 11 cards and 5 tags. Let's get started on today's card. Today we'll be using That's the Tag, and we'll be putting Mr. and Mrs. on a C block. But again, like I said, if you wanted to change it out and you wanted it to say thinking of you, to my amazing mother, thank you, those would all fit on there. You might even be able to fit thanks so much on there. It might be a little tight fit, but you could fit it on there. The dies that we'll be using the oval die, and we'll be using the butterfly die from the Timeless Tags Thinlits dies. The materials that you'll receive to make these two cards will be 2 Berry Vanilla card bases, and 2 Tip Top Taupe panels, 2 DSP panels from the Falling in Love DSP. You'll get 2 sheets of the silicone release paper and 4 pieces of Berry Vanilla cardstock for your oval dies, 2 for each card, and you'll get 2 pieces of Tip Top Taupe cardstock for the butterfly dies. These are the large stitched ovals, the largest oval, and it comes from the Stitch Shapes Framelits dies. You'll get 2 pieces of the mini striped ribbon in the Tip Top Taupe and 2 pieces of the 1/4 inch satin ribbon in Berry Vanilla. I'll just be making 1 card today, but you can make 2 as we follow along on the video. The first thing we'll do is we're going to take our card base and our Tip Top Taupe and our panel. We're going to put our panel of DSP onto our Tip Top Taupe card base, and we're going to use snail adhesive for that. And before we put it on our card base, we're going to put our Tip Top Taupe ribbon on. And we want to have that 2.5 inches from our bottom. So we're going to measure 2.5 inches on the back of our Tip Top Taupe. With our pencil, we'll mark it 2.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will let us know where we need to put our ribbon. And by our marks, we're going to take and make a 1 square inch of snail adhesive on both sides. And this will hold our ribbon in place. So we'll turn it to the front, place our ribbon across the front with equal sides on both ends, and we'll turn it over and place our ribbon there. And then this side will also, so the bottom edge of our ribbon will be equal with the little mark that we made. Now we're ready to put our panel onto our card front. And we'll use snail for that as well. Next, we're going to place our tip-top taupe stitched oval over our ribbon. And we want it to be a little more than 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Now we're going to do our stamping, and we're going to stamp the Mr. and Mrs. And we're going to use the oval as a guide. We'll need our piercing mat because we're using photopolymer. Now we know that we want to cut this out, and we know that we're going to want to put some butterflies there. So we need to stamp where we'll be able to leave the butterflies in place and still stay within the oval. So we're going to kind of use this as a guide. We'll get our ink together here, ink up our stamp, so we know pretty much where we're going to want to stamp. So I'm going to move my oval, and I'm going to stamp right there. And it doesn't have to be straight because we're going to cut it. So when we cut it, we can make sure that it's straight then by altering the oval, shifting it however we need to get it so that the Mr. and Mrs. is straight across. So let me go ahead and cut that. Okay, and once we have cut this, then we can go ahead and cut out our butterflies as well. Okay, so we have our butterflies cut out. And I'm going to use my piercing tool to just punch those out. Now we want to cut some butterflies to fill in the spaces here, but we're going to go ahead and take our other piece of Very Vanilla and cut a solid oval without any stamping or butterflies. Okay, so we have our solid oval, and we're going to glue this with our multi-purpose glue to the solid oval. And we're just going to put a few dots and some smaller dots here on the edge because we don't want the glue to go over the sides. And I find it's easier to match up the holes and then do the rest. And the glue will allow you some time to slide things around to get them to even up. Now from this we're going to cut butterflies, but what we're going to do before that, we're going to take our snail adhesive and we're going to put some snail all along the 1/2 that is going to be that we're going to cut with our butterflies. And we're going to cover that with a piece of the silicone release paper. And we want the waxy side, not the silky side, but the waxy feeling side against our adhesive. And then we can put the part where it has the adhesive, we're going to place our butterflies there and run it through the Big Shot. Now we're going to take this and we're going to punch these out onto our silicone release paper, and these will have adhesive on them now. So we're going to take them and match them up to the little spaces where they belong and fill them in there. Try to get them in where they belong. You might need to take the paper off the back if it's still in place. This one still has its paper, so I have to remove it. Now if you didn't want to do it this way, you could just cut it out regular and use glue inside there, put little pieces, dots of glue in there to glue them in, but that's a preference of yours. I find it easier to do it this way, especially these tiny little ones. It's another one that still has the paper on it. Last one. Now if for some reason you needed to do another, you could always use this part of the, I tried to give you extra in case you needed to do 2 if you messed up on the first one. Okay, so this is ready to put our ribbon on. To put our ribbon on, we're going to go in, curl our ribbon up like this and go inside. Then we're going to turn it, face it away from us, pull the ribbon through, and we want about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inch there in the front. We're going to take this piece and wrap it around and make like a loop. Then we're going to bring this piece up and go through the loop and pull it tight, gently tight, not too quickly, because you want to keep it down near the base, near the oval, so you can see the front. We're pulling it, but trying to keep it to the base of the ribbon. And then when we get it where we want it, we can take our scissors, and I like to cut mine so that it's angling down towards the center. Okay, the last thing we have to do is to put the dimensionals on the back. We'll put 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, And I forgot to tell you that if the sentiment that you want to put on the inside, you need to stamp that on the inside. And there's several sentiments to choose from in the Falling for You stamps that come with it. Best wishes for many wonderful years together. Your love of a lifetime has become a lifetime of love. There's several there that you can choose from. And we'll remove the backing. And it's ready to put on the front of our card. We're just going to place it in the center. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. It'll still look nice. Alright, our card is ready. That's number 2 in our That's the Tag, April 2017 online class. Again, you can get the details on my blog, www.carolbcrafts.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye now.